Yeah. Check, mic check 1 2 1 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another one of them candid conversations. It's been nice, it's been lovely, and yeah, it's been nice, it's been lovely, and you can hear from what's playing at the background. Today's gonna be a big one. I think today is an authentic one. Yeah, we're still on that session where we're bigging up our sisters from the motherland, and this time I went all the way back to my aunts where we're from, Nairobi, Kenya, for them who know. Yeah, and listen, this is not one of them where we say click, subscribe, whatever. If you want to do it, do it. If you don't, whatever, man. We're still here. We're doing this authentic, right?
Yeah.
But after saying that, we're gonna say a big shout out to all our well wishers and all our sponsors. A big shout out to Firefly Echo from Diani. Firefly Echo Marines, take your family down there. Big up to Mr. Jacob. We love you. A big shout out to Bush and Wine Adventures. We love you. A big shout out to Olympia Fuller Strikes. We love you. And a big shout out to Trigger Accounts. Those are the people who keep the money going. All right. Now listen to this one here. Yeah. Yeah. You never get better than that. All right. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Shari Afrika. How are you doing, my sister? Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Welcome to the show. And listen.
Thank you.
On the down low, I've been following your works on the down low. But
oh.
I've been over COVID and all that. It gets nostalgic a little bit. Someone's like, oh, needing a Tani and that kind of thing right there. So nikajipata na I'm going down the rabbit hole nikitazamatiza mavitu, and Shari popped up on my radar. Then I got a nice hookup from a brother of mine, Timmy Life, a big shout out. And I'm I can put this together, and I really appreciate that. So Shari Afrika, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Able to say, like, in short, how has it been for you through this COVID period? That's a generic question, but we have to do it anyway.
It's okay. COVID period has been tough on everyone. I don't think maybe there are some exceptions, but on the majority, it's been tough. At some point, I was jobless, and then, but I got to make a lot of music during that time, so that was a plus for me. Musically, it helped me learn a lot of skills. Right now, I can do a little bit of production. I can record myself. I learned how to use Adobe, Photoshop, Lightroom, Premiere. So I figured if it bites me on one end, I can look for things to do that make this time positive for me.
Wow. Listen.
So it's been bittersweet, but I found my way around it.
Yeah, listen, it was like that where you start reaching deep inside yourself. And then for artists like you, like what you just said there, kind of ticks all the boxes. You kind of expanded your skill set, basically. Yeah. That's a beautiful thing. And then, like, now that everything is going online, guys, or you kind of arm yourself with one or two skills, then you're gonna get the online setup better, innit?
Yeah, it's important.
Kweli.
It's important.
Nashukuru sana. Listen, my sister, in your own words, right? Able to elezea, right? How did we get here? Kulianzaje? Unatoka mtaa gani? How did we get here?
Hey, mimi vile mi kwa storyteller.
Let's go.
Tutaka hapa hadi kesho. Where did it start? I was born in Kibra.
Okay.
And then my mom was a teenager by then, and she couldn't raise a baby. And so I was taken to live with my grandma in Gidurai. And then my grandma's sister.
stand up, get the rank 45 till I die. Mtayangu.
Yeah, nikatoka Githu.
Pole, you were here Githu na niko Ulaya.
Okay.
I get excited. Yeah, so you get me. Right.
Nikatoka Githu. Nikaenda kuishi na a certain aunt of mine in Kariobangi. And then nikatoka Kariobangi, nikaenda sasa Shags. Ushago is in Ugenya, Siaya County. Yeah, a place called Sega Town, Ugambe Village.
Okay.
So Ugambe Village is where now I spent the rest of my life. And then I went to campus. And then nikatoka hivyo Ushago nikakuja Nairobi sasa. Campus nilikuwa LD, alafu sasa after campus nikakuja Nairobi sasa kufuata mziki, kuchase dreams.
Okay.
But singing is something I've always done. Even though I didn't think I was good at it, I didn't think of it as a career when I was a kid, but I enjoyed listening to music with my grandfather. I enjoyed singing in church throughout. In fact, nikiwa high school, I was by form 3, 4 hapo, I was CU praise and worship leader.
Okay. Humble beginnings here.
Yeah. Because
yeah.
Shout out to Saja. Saja amenilinda, amenifungulia milango. So I always hold him near, hata kama siimbi gospel sahi. But I still love him the same.
In your life,
yeah. Amen. And so kuimba professionally, let's see. No. Hata nikiwa campus, I joined the campus band.
Okay.
As a vocalist. I tried to learn instruments, but ilikata. But I ended up learning guitar, but I'm still terrible at it. But nikiwa campus, nikiwa kwa hiyo band, there was a time we went to perform for the governor of Kisii.
Okay.
And so ilikuwa, I think it must have been a Madaraka Day. I think ilikuwa Madaraka Day in Kisii. And so we went to perform there. And after that, tukaenda perform kwa club fulani huko Kisii. Alafu, it was generally my first time performing in public, mali simbele ya students wenzangu. It was sasa, these are people I'll never see again, probably.
Right.
And I remember enjoying it a lot, and just and seeing people dancing while I sing.
The response was...
there was exchange of energy. There was a beautiful exchange of energy, and I realized this is something I want to do forever, because at that moment I was just so happy. And so when I came back to school, I started taking songwriting seriously. Okay. And so I wrote a couple of more songs. I started writing songs, started recording. There was a friend of mine from the band as well called Muga. So Muga was an aspiring producer. Right. And so he'd make beats and send them to me and say, do you want to write something on this? And then najaribu. And then after nimemaliza, tunaenda hostel na record hivyo. So I have a lot of demos from campus that have never seen the day. The day of light, or the light of day. Have never seen the light of the day. And so after campus, by the time nilikuwa 4th year, I knew I wanted to be a musician, but I also knew I wanted to be, to do something with my degree, to do something in the corporate world. So I wanted to.
What did you take in campus, by the way?
I studied project planning and management.
Wow. Hapo ndio wanasemanga people threat, beauty, brains, and something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm vibing to this at the moment.
Yeah?
This is what I'm vibing to.
Ooh.
That's a tune.
It's a really dope song.
Right. You are feeling this. Beautiful, very beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on a minute. Mboko. Listen. Talk to me about like who are this, like when you're growing up before you recorded and all that, who are some of the artists who inspired you both locally and from the international scene?
I listened to a lot of rumba growing up. A lot of rumba, benga. And what else did I listen to? Endo Hangla. So those are influences from my grandfather. Literally, on weekends, he just put on some cassettes. There were those small cassettes. And so he'd put on a cassette. And in fact, I think one of those benga artists gave him a shout out on one of them. And so we'd always listen to these songs.
See,
yeah.
I'm a man out here in this street.
And so I grew up to Dr. Osito Kale. I grew up to Papa Wemba, Pepe Kale, Kofi Olomide, Cindy, Bilia Bell. Yeah. And it was just beautiful music.
Listen.
And then when I went,
listen, even me, Bilia Bell was a staple for my dad. I think my dad had a thing for Bilia Bell or something. Yeah.
Oh, she's a very pretty lady.
Yeah, Bilia Bell was. I remember like every time my dad had guests, Bilia Bell be playing at the background somewhere. So when I was now that I'm old, that's when I can remember them days. Yeah. So that's a beautiful thing. Go on.
And so, who did I listen to in primary? I can't remember. But I got to campus and then I discovered there's music outside of Kenya. Oh no! As a kid, I think I listened to Brenda Fassie as well. So I only knew music from Kenya and South Africa. Yeah. But then I got to campus and I realized there's so much more to music. I discovered a lot more. I discovered Shekinah. I love Shekinah. I discovered West African music. There's Dobe Nahore. I love Dobe. I love, she's called Yaya. She's a very dope vocalist. Not famous, but very dope vocalist.
Like what you say, sorry for the interruption, like the kind of artist you're talking about, their authenticity and also like how they stick to a certain lane, that's not that some people might not consider it not commercial at all, but they're all legacy artists. You understand what I'm saying? Legacy artists, like the likes of Bilia Bell, legacy artists. We are what, 30 years deep, and
we'll continue talking about her 10 years from now.
and that's a beautiful thing, my sister. That's a beautiful thing. So, second question I want to know, which I think is your choice, your writing, your choice of how you write and how you mix languages, right? Why? First of all, why do you mix languages?
I don't know. When I write music most of the time, especially this kind of music, I don't employ logic. I just let it flow from my head to my heart and to my pen. And so whatever comes out, that's what is going to work. So sometimes I'll feel like putting the law in a specific pattern. I'll just put it. I don't employ logic. I write from my heart.
Listen, that's a beautiful thing. And that's a genuine answer. Sabu, listening to your music, which I've been doing for the past week, right? I'm beginning to like, it takes me there, it takes me somewhere, right? I can't tell where it takes me. I'm not familiar with the lure like that, right? But I can pick one or two words, right? And I'm like, oh, okay. Then the gaps, I left for me to fill them in like however I feel like. You see what I'm saying? Like you take me somewhere and then you still let me be me. Like I can digest it the way you want, but this is where I want it. Like, so that's a beautiful thing. And it's kind of like,
I like that.
No, honestly, I'm being honest because I'm a connoisseur. I'm a connoisseur of music, especially African music, right?
That's nice.
And I know one or two things, like I know one or two facts, and I can listen to something and no, they were trying to do this, but they didn't get there. You see what I'm saying? But with your song, I'm like, where is she taking me? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's urban, but it's not urban.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's urban, but it's not urban. And one thing
I try to blend.
Yeah.
I try to fuse the. I don't like calling it the old kind of music. Yeah, the authentic kind of music. African music, and the current sound that people are used to.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And so it makes it easier for those people, for all age groups, to listen to.
Yeah, across the board. It's palatable across the board.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, I've noticed something else you're doing. I'm sorry, I've noticed, Chambu, I've noticed something else you're doing. You're refraining from shock therapy. There's no curse words, there's nothing like that in your songs. You're refraining from shock therapy, like talking tough. You're more about emotions. You're more about situations and emotions. And
I'm a lover.
You're more a storyteller.
I'm a lover, not a fighter.
You're a lover, not a fighter. You're more of a storyteller.
Yeah.
More than kind of like I'm here to force things down somebody's throat, which is a beautiful thing. So this song, Shari Afrika, this song with you featured, is it Nyaboma?
Nyaboma, yes. That's the accent. That's
Nyaboma.
the accent. Nyaboma.
Listen,
yes.
Man, not laying foreign for a minute, so you're getting a slide in a You see what I'm saying? Nyaboma.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Nyaboma.
So talk to me about that song, because the instrumentation, I can even like the percussions, nanini, they're so authentic, Nika. You know what I mean? Talk to me about that song. What the song is all about.
So the song was sponsored by Max Dobloff. Max Dobloff is a producer from Austria, Vienna, and he was looking to work with a female artist from Kenya. And so, as you can see, there's a third name, Ngala Oreo. And Ngala Oreo owns, we can say, is it really a label? Let's say a studio in Nairobi called Box House. And Ngala was the first producer I met when I came to Nairobi in 2018.
Okay.
To start to figure out music in Nairobi. And so I met Ngala first, and he really loved my sound. And he's continued to to offer more opportunities to me every single time. Every time someone is looking for a female artist, I feel like he recommends me first. And so Ngala recommended me to Max Dobloff, and then Max sent me this beat. And then he said he's looking for someone to write it. He had already given it to 3 artists previously, and he didn't vibe with what they had created. And so I listened to the beat, and the first time I listened to it, I took another phone and I started recording, just myself freestyling. And so at that time, by the way, it was last year during lockdown. Lockdown found me at home in Kisumu.
Okay.
And so I just thought about how I'd walk. We live in the village, and so siku za soko. I thought of how I'd go to the market, and the women around would watch me pass, and then they started calling me Miss America, and so they'd say Miss America is passing. They'd say Ero Miss America Carlo. So that means look at Miss America, she's passing.
There goes Miss America.
Yeah, there goes Miss America.
Right.
And so I used to find it so hilarious, and I thought it was because of the way I dressed
Ah.
and just the way I presented myself. You know, in a
Right.
village, you don't expect someone to look like this.
Exactly.
You are very, yeah. And so I started to draw inspiration from that in that freestyle. And then I finished and sent that demo immediately to Ngala. And then he said he's going to send it to Max. And so after a few, I think it was after an hour, Max contacted me and said he loved it.
Wow.
I was like, yay! And so we organized. I went to record. I sent the stems to him in Austria.
So it was mastered in Austria.
Yeah, it was mastered in Austria.
Oh, wow.
And